Yo, what is going on, guys? Got a video here today from a relationship today titled Ungrateful Wife Becomes Homeless After Saying This About Her Husband. So it sounds like she decided to talk some smack. Maybe she decided to roast him on the internet, or maybe just in person, and she found out the hard way that it wasn't actually her house, and it sounds like he kicked her out. Let's jump right into the video. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments. Let's take a listen.
I've been crying all morning long. My husband told me that I needed to pack my stuff and get the out the house. So I have my bag and I'm about to start packing. I literally have nowhere to go. So I don't know what I'm gonna do.
So there's a few things that I don't do as a married woman. Number one, I do not cook for my husband. I only cook for my children. My husband will be making his own breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Alright, so Benny Bloop here wants to know what is my purpose. And it's quite simple. My purpose is to be the queen of the castle.
She claims she doesn't.
This is hilarious, man. Of course this woman got kicked out. So, right off the bat, let's just talk about this for a second. She doesn't respect her husband, so she refuses to cook for him. She sounds like an awful human being. Of course she gets kicked out. Her purpose, apparently, is to be the queen of the castle. She doesn't cook. She doesn't do her husband's laundry. I mean, so you mean to tell me that it sounds to me like this guy's paying for the house because he was able to kick her out. He was paying the bills, he was working, and you refuse to even cook for him? I mean, that is, of course she got kicked out. Absolutely terrible. Let's continue with her little saga here.
Alright, so Benny Bloop here wants to know what is my purpose. And it's quite simple. My purpose is to be the queen of the castle. I just sit back on my throne and I supervise the peasants. I mean, my husband. No, but all jokes aside, my husband is very lucky to have me. Like, I could promise you that he's very, very lucky. And I'm pretty sure my husband has endless stories to tell his friends, his co-workers about how much of a helpful wife I am.
Yeah, you are so helpful that you decide to make TikTok videos like this on the internet, trash talking him as a quote-unquote joke. Let me tell you something, man. I see so many videos like this where these women are like, haha, I'm just being funny. I'm just being quirky. Can we cut the nonsense, please? This is just disrespectful, man. It really is. I don't see husbands getting online and doing this crap on TikTok, by the way. I don't think husbands even have TikTok accounts, generally speaking, right? But she decides to get on here. She decides to down talk to him. She calls him a peasant. Now, the thing is, it doesn't matter if it's a joke or not, okay? Because at the end of the day, you're posting about your relationship online, and you are, at the end of the day, you are talking smack, right? So don't be surprised when the dude sees it and he feels disrespected, okay? I don't like this thing where women like to hide behind this crap of like, oh yeah, it's just a joke, right? I'm just being comedic. You're not funny. You're disrespecting your husband. Of course he's going to kick you out. So what does she say here, by the way? The husband is lucky to have her, apparently, and she supervises the peasants.
My husband has endless stories to tell his friends, his co-workers about how much of a helpful wife I am. But also, my purpose is to make sure that my husband never feels outshined by my cooking, by my cleaning, or my laundry skills. It's called selfishness. I need to make sure that he knows that he could do everything that I could do, or even better. But
then why would he keep you around in the first place? Okay? I'm sure, guys, that if a man was out being, you know, he was being outshined by his woman in every way as it, you know, for example, in terms of earnings, she wouldn't hesitate to drop him, right? He would be dropped very quickly. A lot of times, guys, man, you know, dudes are earning less money than their woman. They're earning less money than the woman who they're talking to. And these women don't want to have long-term relationships with that guy, right? You think that women feel empathy when you earn less money than them? They just look a different way, man. They absolutely do. So what is this logic? She says, you know, the dude can't feel outshined by my laundry and my cooking. So she needs to make it feel as though he can always do a better job. Well, then what do you do then? Do you just sit around and nag and make annoying TikToks about him? Is that your purpose? It doesn't make sense to me, man. And men are just like, we're told to put up with this nonsense. We're told to put up with these relationships. It's absolutely crazy. If you have a woman like this, guys, just kick her out. She's a net negative. She's absolutely a net negative.
Also, my purpose is to make sure that my husband never feels outshined by my cooking, by my cleaning, or my laundry skills. It's called selfishness. I need to make sure that he knows that he could do everything that I could do, or even better. But no, let's be for real. My purpose is to keep the couch warm and to keep the remote close. It's a vital role in our marriage, and that's what works for us. But what that video proved to me was that men clearly do not pay attention. Yes, they watched the video, but they didn't read no captions or hashtags, and they fell right into the trap. So that was a proven fact that men don't pay attention. You can't.
I'm not going to read your captions and your hashtags, right? If I see your video, say what you need to say. I'm not, you know, where's Waldoing the point that you're trying to make. If you have a point to make it on the video. You know, this is exactly what I'm saying, where they pretend to be all quirky, right? I'm being funny. Haha, in order to get the point of this video, it's actually in the comments. I was being sarcastic. No, you're annoying. You're disrespectful to your relationship, and I don't feel bad that the dude kicked you out. It makes absolute sense to me.
Can't multitask and watch a video and read at the same time. All these men are so mad for no reason.
If she claims to be a queen, then she should be helping the king and taking good care of him while he provides and protects her. She says her husband is lucky to have her, but what kind of luck is she really talking about? I can't imagine the kind of stories he has to tell. Probably just tales of stress, frustration, and the weight of carrying everything on his own.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Like, she says that the dude is supposed to tell stories of her and things like this. I mean, what's he supposed to tell his friend? Is he supposed to tell his friends your TikTok account? You know what I'm saying, guys? Like, this is not the type of woman right here that men feel proud of being in a relationship with. This is the type of woman who, if you're in a relationship, you probably deep down feel ashamed that you're even talking to her in the first place because of the amount of respect that she gives you, i.e. none. Okay? Like, I don't understand the logic here. We're supposed to tell our friends about you and these stories that we have. You're just narcissistic and annoying. Am I supposed to go and tell my friends how awful you treat me on a day-to-day basis and you think that you're just making jokes and being funny? No. The dude's not going to tell his friends about you. He's eventually just going to kick you out when he's had enough, and I can't blame the man for doing this, guys. You know, before we continue with the clip, it just amazes me how much some women go out here and they just really try and test their man's patience, right? Over and over again. They do a bunch of nonsense, they do a bunch of terrible behaviors, and then their whole world comes crumbling around them because the dude kicks them out as if it's some sort of shock. Wait, men aren't supposed to have a backbone. They're not supposed to tell me no. And then they get frustrated and they make these videos of themselves crying on TikTok. But as far as I'm concerned, she had it coming the whole time. Okay, I don't care if you word your TikTok captions differently. You're disrespectful as hell. So let's jump in. This is the part where she's crying. My husband told me I need to get out. All the backlash I got was an eye-opener for him. Let's take a listen.
Clip will be the result of what's going on.
I've been crying all morning long. My husband told me that I needed to pack my stuff and get the fuck out the house.
Good for him.
I have my bag and I'm about to start packing. I literally have nowhere to go. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. Everybody in the comments was right. He does deserve somebody better. And I hope and pray that he finds someone better. I didn't know that me making that video was gonna, you know, upset him so much. And it made him realize what kind of piece of shit woman I really am.
You know, I think that this is maybe just a skit again. She's probably recording this and she's probably going to sit there and say, well, actually, I didn't get kicked out. You should have read the captions because men don't read. They don't consume content and read at the same time. So apparently the joke's on the dude, right? I wouldn't be surprised if this woman didn't even have a damn husband. She sounds to me like she's a single mother who, you know, like this woman is horrible, man. She's absolutely horrible. So the title of the video is Ungrateful Wife Becomes Homeless after saying this about her husband. But I don't know, man, she could just be doing her stupid little skit again. But at the end of the day, if you're the husband, if this woman even has a husband to begin with, this is the kind of stuff that me personally, I just don't want to deal with it. I don't want to deal with a woman who's posting on TikTok all day, fake crying, you know, making all these posts saying, talking crap about me. Like, imagine if you had some friends, guys, or if you had a girlfriend and she would just jokingly bash you on the internet all the time. I don't understand what part of this is cute or funny or quirky or enlightening to your viewers. I think it's just clown world behavior. Let's run it back and continue.
He does deserve somebody better, and I hope and pray that he finds someone better. I didn't know that me making that video was gonna, you know, upset him so much, and it made him realize what kind of piece of shit woman I really am. I just don't know. I don't know what to do. And this should be a wake-up call for women that are like me. Please make sure you bow down to your man. Please make sure you cook for him. Make sure that you know, do his laundry or anything like that, because he could kick you out any time of the day. So please.
Yeah, it sounds to me like she's just being sarcastic here. But here's the interesting part about the video. This man, if she does indeed have one, should absolutely kick her out. Okay, you sitting on here saying, I don't cook for my man, I don't clean for my man, you know, my whole job is to sit there and do nothing. My whole job is to not do these things, so he realizes that he can do it himself. And I think a lot of men, what ends up happening is they actually realize that they can do it themselves. They don't need some Western woman to do these things in a terrible way, give them no gratitude, all of this kind of thing. I mean, I talked recently, guys, about a lot of men going over to the Philippines, going to Southeast Asia, Thailand, things like this. And there is a reason why dudes do that. And it's because the women over there treat them better. Even other women say this. We had a video recently where a woman was losing her marbles over the fact that dudes were going to these other countries. And she spelled it all out. The women over there, they treat men better. Right? They don't typically make these stupid TikTok videos joking about how they don't cook for him and blah, blah, blah. I mean, maybe this video is true. I don't know. I don't have the captions on hand, nor do I give a damn to even read them in the first place. Not because I can't read, but simply because I don't want to absorb any more of this woman's nonsense, especially in text form, man. But let's keep going for the sake of the episode and see what else she has to say.
He could kick you out any time of the day. So please make sure that you cater to your man, okay?
He actually deserves someone who appreciates what he has to offer, and I hope he finds that person. It's sad how good men sometimes end up with women who don't see the value they bring to the relationship. She wasn't helping him out at all, and then she had the nerve to make a video about it, as if she was proud of what she was doing or not doing. What was she even thinking? Her husband was trying to make things work, probably to avoid a divorce, maybe because of the kids. But there she was on social media, boasting about how she was doing him a favor by staying with him. It's almost laughable, but also sad.
I mean, no man wants to feel like his wife or girlfriend is doing him a favor by being in a relationship with him. Can you guys imagine if dudes were walking around making videos like this? Like, yeah, bro, my wife is totally lucky to be in a relationship with me. I don't do anything. I don't pay bills. I don't work. I don't put any effort in because she needs to understand that she can do it herself. I mean, the dude would be absolutely roasted. He probably wouldn't even be able to have a TikTok account, by the way. I guarantee you all the womanists over on TikTok would report his account and it would be banned very, very quickly. TikTok is a platform, guys, where if you share your opinions, especially as a man with regards to the dating market or how things actually work in terms of relationships, you'll be kicked off the platform instantly because the viewer base over there doesn't like to hear the truth. The women will mass report your account and you'll be banned very quickly. But let's continue with the episode.
I'll be finding these people who be obsessed with y'all because I want one.
She's going to keep searching because we good men who would be ready to treat her well are stepping out of the dating market. Because of women like the one in the first clip who don't see our worth and value. We're tired of being overlooked and taken for granted. Instead of wasting time on people who don't appreciate us, we're focusing on other goals and building our future. There's no point in sticking around when we're not valued.
Or just straight up leaving the country. Okay, I know plenty of dudes who what they decide to do is they decide to go to these Southeast Asian countries where they're valued and respected more. And it's not really a complicated thing to grasp, okay? Men are just going where they're appreciated. They're dealing with the people who actually like them and who are interested in them. And they're done dating a lot of these Western women. Let's continue into the next clip here. We of course have a car video. We've already, you know, we've got the septum piercing going on. We've got the angry and disturbed look already. Let's see what this woman has to tell us.
So I have woken up feeling so rough this morning. I have a swollen tongue. My throat is absolutely killing me. I've got ridges in my tongue where my teeth have been digging in the whole night. I can barely swallow my own saliva. But anyway, I had been on 2 dates with this guy, and he was really lovely, and like there was nothing wrong with him. Like there just wasn't that spark there, which is fair because you have to, like, I don't know, date around to find your person, I suppose.
Not a great plan.
Have you guys noticed that some of my videos have gone missing over here on YouTube? That is because I am slowly moving them over to locals where I can actually host them without the risk of getting in trouble. If you are not aware, many creators are starting to move over to places like locals, Rumble, etc. because YouTube is not really a free speech platform. So if you are interested in supporting the channel and getting access to videos that are no longer available here, make sure that you come and join us over on locals. The link will be in the video description down below. Supporters get access to their own exclusive videos that are no longer available to the public, so make sure you go to the link in the description and join us over there now. But anyway guys, back to today's episode.
But I've actually really realised I'm actually happy being on my own.
This is something that I mention in these videos quite often, is that modern women like to treat dating as though it's some giant marathon, okay? Something that they have to do repeatedly for years just to find that one diamond in the rough. But the fact of the matter is that women these days often feel as though they're better than all of their options, okay? That they deserve the top of the top. They deserve the dude who is at the finish line, who has the career, who's tall, who's really attractive, things like this. And so they hold out for that man over and over and over again. I made this point in a recent video, guys, but if you were to present the average man in Western society with the same amount of options that women have, he would be able to find a relationship instantly. He would be able to find a girlfriend instantly, one that he likes, one that he's ready to settle down and have a family with, something like this. You can give women like this all the options in the world, guys. I mean, these women, you would not believe how many options they have on dating applications, for example, how many dudes are in their DMs and things like this. And granted, not every one of those men are going to want specifically a relationship with her, but the fact of the matter remains, they have so many options, and yet none of them, you know, there's like 1 in 100 will give her the spark that she's looking for. So you go out there, you continue to chase that spark, you continue to live in delusion land where you think that you actually deserve these men who are at the top, and you'll be single when you're 40, you'll have a lot of cats, you'll have a lot of boxed wine, and that's totally fine, but let's just call it for what it is. Let's wind it back and continue.
You have to, like, I don't know, date around to find your person, I suppose. But I've actually really realised I'm actually happy being on my own. Really content and happy to not give my time and energy to other people. And I don't know whether that's because I had a real bad end to a relationship, a very toxic end, that I'm now like, everyone showed their best self at the start, and then, like, if it was to ever end, are you going to be a see you next Tuesday? Who knows?
What have I told you guys, by the way, about these relationships that these modern women have? It's always, it was so toxic and it was so awful and the man was bad and everything. And they'll try and sell you this sob story about how the dude was bad and now they're just looking for a good man and things like this. It's one giant endless circle where they try and gaslight you into thinking that, number one, their selection process for men isn't completely broken to absolute bits, right? They're trying to convince you of that. Then they're trying to convince you also that you need to continue to give up your attention, your time, your validation, your resources, etc., because they're just looking for that good man. And guys, I have nothing against being a good man, right? I think being a good man is great. Morals are important. Doing the right thing is important. I mean, doing the right thing these days oftentimes means you put yourself in harm's way, but to the extent that you can, right? Being a good man, being an honest man with morals and things like this, fantastic. But please don't cultivate these things because some woman on TikTok or some woman you know has told you that she likes a man with integrity. Because integrity is a lot lower on their list than they like to suggest, man. It really is. You think that these attractive men that they hook up with on dating applications, you think that these dudes need to have integrity? Guys, I would encourage you, after this video, there's a video on, I believe it's a Gundam's channel. I mean, it's on many channels as well, but there's a video on a guy called It's a Gundam's channel where he goes over hypergamous women have no moral compass. It's titled something like that. Go and watch that video, guys, right? It shows, I believe from memory, I watched it like a few months ago at this point, you know, these women go on these dating applications, they're swiping on the very attractive guys. You can even make a profile as a super attractive Giga Chad and commit multiple crimes, multiple felonies, tell the women, and they still don't care. It's crazy, guys. So don't give me this integrity rant about how, you know, my last relationship was toxic, and now, you know, I'm looking for a man who's going to show me his true colors right up the front. Like, get out of here.
If it was to ever end, are you going to be a see you next Tuesday? Who knows? But I definitely know that I know how to handle that now. But I haven't been touched by a male in over a year, well, nearly a year, not over a year, nearly a year. And it's the weirdest thing. I nearly got run over by a bike. The date pulled me in by my waist to make sure that I didn't get, like, hurt. The panic was unbelievable. I was like, oh my god, it's touching me, it's touching me.
You guys believe that this woman has been celibate for almost a year? I mean, me personally, I never really believe it whenever they say, hey, listen, I haven't spoken to a guy in this long, or I haven't done this in this long. I don't typically believe it at all. My inclination is to just not believe it from the start. But, you know, it reminds me of these girls who, like, they say that they get out of a serious relationship and then they need time to find themselves. Yeah, what ends up happening is they just find themselves in dudes' bedrooms. But I don't typically believe this stuff. You can if you want. Me personally, I don't believe it.
But you did it as in, like, to help me, but the panic, I was like, oh my god. Yeah. And obviously I shouldn't feel like that. I should feel like, yeah, touch me, if I really liked him. Very, very strange.
Yeah, the man was probably just unattractive, and that's why she felt the way that she did. But guys, we're going to be leaving today's episode there. I don't think I can tolerate any more. So as always, make sure to leave your thoughts and your comments. Make sure you take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next episode. Peace.